Hey y'all, this is Seven. I'm blogging about my spiritual journey this Friday. And I have a little bit of advice to spiritual seekers that are, new in the game. My advice is don't take yourself so seriously. If I can give you a piece of advice, it's all a game. Enjoy the game. The game changed for me when I realized it was game. Okay, so this was my perception. I probably put this in another video, but I'm going to share it anyway. Okay, so say the universe is a gymnasium, right? And inside this gymnasium, there's a basketball game going on. And you're one of the players on the basketball game, right? Now, you dribbling, you shooting, you running around the field, there's other players on the field, you're on a team, your team might be your family, your team might be your job, at that given moment, you dribbling, you shooting, right? Okay. Now, you think that the only thing that you have responsibility over or any power over is your own individual player. You're not realizing the illusion of you're the coach. You can make the rules. You can change the rules. You own the gymnasium. This whole universe from you looking outside of is your oyster. You can do the world is a big old game for us to go out and fuck up in. This is how you learn. You have to get out there and fuck up a couple of times. You can't be scared to shoot that shot, even if it's an air ball, even if you break the backboard. Once I realized not only am I playing this game, but I can control the rules of the game, that's when the game got fun and that's when it got easy. The pressure of playing the game with somebody else's rules. See, there were rules that didn't fit what I felt on the inside of my spirit. Like going to church every Sunday and paying tithes. I was like, something funny about that. And it's not that I had a problem with it. I had the problem with the perception of feeding bullshit as to the reason why I should do it. That's what I had a problem with. But I've always lived very truthful and very honestly. So I didn't realize that at the time. It's just that my perception has always been different. So once I started just going along with, hey, you got a different perception, baby, go with it. Let's see how to go. That's when life got fun. There are people out here that have different perceptions, and they are spiritual seekers. They are the people that are totally spiritual. Okay, the definition of spirituality in the way I say it, spiritual is connecting with God's source, connecting with the energy of the universe, and doing it in a custom made path tailored to fit your own life experience. That is what being spiritual is. Now, the rules of that game, particularly, because that's a game too. You don't necessarily have to do that game. That's why I don't knock an atheist. The Bible says God reigns on the just and the unjust. We're all part of God's creation. We're all God's children. The atheist, the drug dealer, the thief, the liar, the mother, the father, the president, all of us. And there's no better. There's no better than anyone. And a lot of people let religion distort their view of thinking there's no better, because unfortunately religion is like a gang, and it puts people in this class, and then they walk around self-righteous thinking they're right and you're wrong, and that just feeds their ego. I just don't have time for that, because my ego was never very well developed to even feed into that. But anyway, okay, so then it's like your path will become custom made. Like, you have to trust the universe. If you are a spiritual seeker, you have to trust the universe to give you what you need. And what you need might not be what somebody else needs. I have friends that are spiritual and our paths are totally different. There's certain things that, okay, you guys. Okay, so I read this book, The Sacred Soul, by, I forgot who it was by. But he was on, go put your clothes on first. And your house shoes on first. Sorry, you guys, kid commercial, 6-year-old. And then come back and do that. Okay, thank you. Not trying to be rude. I read this book by, who was he? I can remember his name. I can remember exactly what he looks like, but I can't remember his name. Okay, but he was on Oprah. He was on the Super Soul Sunday. It's called The Sacred Soul, right? And then I read yesterday I Cried by Iyanla Vanzant. And Iyanla Vanzant's book was so inspirational to me because I came from such dysfunction and I learned through such suffering. But hey, you can learn through suffering. And the lessons I learned was, okay, I've learned through suffering. Now I want to learn through joy. Number one. Number two, celebrate each moment. Celebrate your accomplishments. Celebrate being a human being. Celebrate where you are. Celebrate what you have. Don't look at just what you don't have. Celebrate yourself. Because when you build yourself up with that self-love, that little house you got will seem like a mansion. That little wardrobe you got will seem like it's luxurious. Stop looking for that love on the outside because you're filling up that empty hole that you can actually fill up with self-love, with material things, with people who don't give a fuck about you, with weed and shit that's just making you broke at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, now you still need some more money. Now you're back depressed. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. I learned more about self-love. But I'll tell you, I made a mistake. She was saying that the lessons that she was learning, being a spiritual seeker, she would give them away so fast that they would never sink into her spirit fast enough. And I was like, oh no, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. Comparing myself to somebody else, the ego pops up. I'm in the process of getting rid of it, and it's smaller than it used to be, but every now and again, bam, it just pops out. And I'm honest enough. Not only am I honest enough with myself, but I'm talking about, y'all, this is a testimony right now. I'm honest enough with the people around me that when I do get into ego mode, I can tell them, yeah, sometimes, I feel old and fat. And, I just want to go to the strip club and spend a couple of dollars and make me feel a certain way. What am I seeking? I'm seeking self-love. I'm doubting something. It's at those times, that's when I need to go inward and check self from the inside. Like, none of this on the outside. It's okay to pray. I don't have a problem with praying. Matter of fact, I done started praying more too. Okay. But going inward and saying, why am I feeling like this? What's going on with me? Paying attention to self from the inside. Going through, okay, I did this, I don't like that, I went through this. This is a personal thing. That's what spirituality is. It's a very personal thing. Okay. And you can be religious and spiritual at the same time. And you can be a Christian and be spiritual at the same time. I'm not saying none of that. Okay. So then she said, she's a very ritual type of person. I have been into rituals, but I don't respond well to structure because I'm so multidimensional. I'm very eclectic. I like what I like today. I might not be in the mood for tomorrow. Today I felt like dressing like a bullet. I got my Faith Home Bulldog shirt on. I got some, some gym shoes and some baggy jeans. I mean, some baggy sweat jeans, some men's jeans, sweatpants on. Because that's what I feel like doing. But tomorrow, I might feel like being extra girly, I realized that I can't structure myself too much. I have a very loose structure to my spiritual practice, but I took prayer out of it years ago because I felt like it was too churchy for me, because I was an intercessor when I was in church. And I knew how to get into spirit, that atmosphere, and worship and pray and ask and petition. And I knew how to do it. But, it's a gift. And everybody can't do that. And I knew that deep down inside, but I still felt churchy every time I did it. So now I watched something about this dude that, like, this scientist that did this thing, the scientific thing about prayer working scientifically, and they did tests on people, and I was like, okay, this is a tool. I should take it as a tool and go with it. Okay, fine, yeah. What else did I learn? But I tried to structure myself when I took some time off work. I tried to structure myself. Okay, from 9 to 10, I'm going to meditate. From 10 to 11, I'm going to pray. From 11 to 12, I'm going to exercise. Yeah, that happened one day. I have 6 children. I have to be flexible. And just because it works for somebody else does not mean it's going to work for me. So my lesson that I learned was do what works for today. Take it day to day. You know, some days I can't get around to, oh my God, you guys, just, I know they say sitting quiet for 2 minutes, for 10 minutes, for 30 minutes, for an hour, whatever you can do. Sitting quiet. Okay, so I'm going to do this other video. And the name of the other video is You Are What You Eat Part 2. All right. See you guys. If I can turn this laptop, this doggone thing off.